they just left you. They abandoned you, and you have no idea what to do with yourself. You have been contemplating, what is wrong with me? Why didn't they give me a chance? Why didn't they have grace for me? And you're so stuck in trying to see why you're the problem or what part of you just wasn't good enough that you have not opened your eyes to the bigger picture and realize that the universe has just done you a big favor. They didn't leave you. You are elevating. You are changing dimensions. You're shifting frequencies. And I'm going to explain to you why the person that you just lost, or even the people, the job, the environment that you just got ejected from, has done you the biggest favor, and why something even bigger is on its way, and what you can do to actually capitalize on that and make sure that you remain in the frequency that you're currently in. My name is Ron Natalia, Mindset and Authenticity Coach, and without further ado, we're going to get into it. We as humans, we do not exist in a vacuum. All of us have a soul, and our souls are aligned to frequencies, right? And so let's say this is us. We're here, we're existing, and at this very moment, we are surrounded by an energy that is just blue. So like I said, we don't exist in a vacuum though. So the way that alignment works when it comes to other people is that there are so many people around us, and every single person around us is embodying their own energy, carrying their own frequency. So some people, let's say green, we got a little bit of red, and then, all right, so this is us. We're happily existing in that blue frequency, and everything that is in that frequency is what we have access to. So for example, you might find that when you go and you have a conversation with another person that's in the same frequency as you, you're like, oh wow, I feel so connected to this person. I feel like this person sees me. We are in alignment. I get along with this person so well. However, you might find that that's not the same thing when it comes to someone that's in red or green. And the reason being is because you guys aren't in the same frequency, you're not on the same wavelength, you don't exist in the same space. You live in different worlds. You may exist in the same world, but your realities are so far different from one another. And you can see these people in passing, or some of them you might not even encounter them because they don't even go to the same coffee shops, they don't read the same books, they don't watch the same videos, they're not interested in the same things that you're interested in because you guys just don't exist at the same frequency. And you might be like, okay, but what does this have to do with the people I've just lost? What does this have to do with my girlfriend breaking up with me? What does this have to do with my client dumping me and telling me that we no longer align? And the way that I'm going to explain this to you is your frequency is changing. And when you change frequencies, the people that previously had access to you no longer have access to you because you don't exist in the same space that they exist in anymore. So let's say the blue frequency, and then we have the green frequency. And essentially you are trying to ascend into this green frequency. Like up here, there's abundance, joy, peace. Like you just feel like your most authentic, honest self in this space. And you've been doing the work. You've been taking actions in order to achieve this. You've been meditating. You've been journaling. You've been healing your inner wounds. When your energy finally changes, so say you're down here, you're existing, and these are your clients for your business, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your lover, and y'all just vibing down in this blue space. Once you begin to ascend and your energy changes, you were once blue, but now you've shifted to green and you're beginning to go up the steps I have too many markers in my hand. So now you're green, and you're about to go up the steps into the space. You cannot take people that are still in blue frequency with you. They don't have access to this. And you can't go up into there and talk to them through the floor. You have to let them go. And a lot of the times, because we, in and of ourselves as human beings, aren't good at letting people go, we're not good at letting go of habits, we're not good at letting go of routine, we're not good at letting go of comfort, the universe will do it for us. And the way that I can explain this is like, I had a client. She's an entrepreneur. I work very well with entrepreneurs and creatives. But I had a client, she was an entrepreneur, and she said that she was having a really hard time in her business because even though she was putting in all this work trying to elevate the worth of everything that she was doing, she had lost 2 clients. So let's talk about it. So she's working. Her actions, I'm going to say actions. So all of her actions, she was increasing her worth, not only in the field that she was working in, but to herself. She was taking action to increase her self-worth. And the things that she was doing in order to do that is that she was seeking education that made her feel more knowledgeable, and that gave her confidence. She was putting systems in place that made her business more professional. So instead of like keeping books in her phone, she was actually hiring systems for bookkeeping, hiring systems for managing her clients. So she was truly beginning to embody that vision of entrepreneurship, of what she wanted her business to be. So she was on top of things in terms of upgrading her technology. She was building pricing plans. She had her pricing down pack. And she was beginning to accumulate all of these things that not only increased her worth in the world, in her reality, but it also increased her self-worth, which made her feel as if she could ask for more from not only the universe, but from her clients, from the people around her, because she was now embodying the worth that she saw that she had. And you're like, okay, well, what does that have to do with these clients that she lost? So remember, this is the green energy that she's ascending into. She's embodying this now. She's shifting into this green frequency. But let's talk about her clients. So her old clients, the clients that she lost, these clients that she lost, none of them were paying her how much she said she was worth. Like, so she told them like, hey, it costs this much to work with me. And they were like, oh, well, you're this one's friend, so can I get it for this rate instead? So she had lowered her prices to work with them, right? She had crossed boundaries that she had set for herself that she wouldn't do. So for example, one of these clients had her working really early in the morning on a Saturday when she had told herself that she wouldn't work weekends. So let's say they were infringing on her time, her free time. Then these clients weren't even utilizing the knowledge that she would give them. So she was giving them their plans for their workouts. She was telling them the best way to maintain their goals or attain their goals was to follow a set diet, and they weren't listening to her. So they were dismissive of her knowledge and her expertise. And lastly, they would flake on her. They would be like, hey, can we meet at this time on this day? And then when the day came, she would show up, she would call them, and they would not give her an answer. They would basically ghost her. They didn't value her time. So the way that I put it for her, and the way that I'm going to say this to you, is these clients were in a frequency that couldn't afford her. The energy that they had, the energy that they were maintaining, did not match the worth that she was stepping into. All of these behaviors that these clients were participating in were diminishing her worth. They were making her feel less than. They were causing a rift in who she said she was and what she was embodying and how she was actually being showed up for. But one of the things that you will notice and that you will have to get very good at being aware of is when you begin to switch frequency, when you begin to embody the worth of what you desire, when you begin to align yourself with the frequency of the things that you want, there's two things that's going to happen. And the two things that are happening are mainly happening for the same reason. So, the universe is going to make space for what you are calling in. And it's going to do this for two reasons. One of the main reasons is because not only are you calling it in because you are increasing your worth and you're worthy of it, but if it is in line with your purpose, the universe doesn't have time for you to continue to stall, right? So you are going to find that you're going to be pushed into the last phase. You're going to be pushed into the part of things that hurt. And a lot of times that's where rock bottoms come from, is that things are taken away from us that make us uncomfortable and makes us feel unsafe. And we're like, why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? It's because it's time for you to rise to the occasion and switch frequencies. Your purpose, your destiny, whatever it is that you're calling in is asking you to come into the frequency. Get up here. But you're too busy holding on to what makes you feel comfortable, what makes you feel safe to do that. So for example, before my client was in like this blue frequency and she needed to move into this green one, the thing that those clients promised her was a little bit of security, right? Because they still paid her. They weren't paying her what she was worth, but it was still money. And money for some people equals safety. It equals worth. It equals security, right? And since she hadn't fully embodied that green frequency, she hadn't fully moved into, oops, this is the wrong color. And since she was still in this blue frequency and she hadn't moved and shifted into the green frequency, she didn't know what was waiting over here for her. And this is the known, and it's comfortable. Shifting frequencies on our own can be really hard because we don't know what's over here. Yeah, there's a promise of it being better, but we don't know what better looks like. Better doesn't have our clients. Better doesn't have our friends, right? Better doesn't have our family, maybe. And so shifting over here can be hard for us, even if what's over here waiting for us is purpose, abundance, joy, freedom. We haven't seen it, so we can't really fully believe it. Over here, everything that's in place, we can live with it. It's good enough. However, the universe is like, I haven't made you for good enough. You weren't made for good enough. You were made for better. So if you're not going to do it, if you're not going to step out of this blue frequency, then I'm going to have to start to tear it down. I have to get rid of your clients. I have to get rid of that friend that never supported your dreams and talked down to you even every time you said that you wanted to accomplish something. They gave you a little bit of skepticism, right? I have to take away your family because they're not supportive of your dreams. They're not supportive of your growth. Once this happens, then and only then are we more comfortable with stepping into the unknown, because now all of this has fallen apart. What you have lost is making room for what it is that you're supposed to embody. You're about to go up. You're embodying the next level. You are stepping into the next phase of your life, and none of these things can coexist there because they don't exist in that frequency. We never lose what we're meant to have. And anything that we're meant to have, we don't lose. What is meant for you is going to find you. And what is not meant for you is going to find its way out of your life. And you will find that when you are forcing yourself to stay where you do not belong, things get worse and worse and worse until your life feels unbearable. So when you go out of your way to stay in a frequency that you are outgrowing, that you are being shoved out of, you will find that it will give you more and more reasons to actually shift. You have not lost. You are actually being pushed into something far greater. And I know I also talked about how you can capitalize on this energy and how you can capitalize on this shift. And the best way to do that is to literally continue to take action that allows you to step into your worth. For example, with my client, all of the actions that she was taking, when she lost those 2 clients, she also got job offers from corporations. She got a client that was in a higher paying job bracket. So a lawyer came to her and was like, I want you to train me. I have no problem with your prices. So ideally for her, the best option would be to look into that corporate job, begin to train that higher paying client, and not reach out or try to hold on to the clients that she had previously lost, because her mindset was, they gave up on me. I held so much grace for them and I did everything that I could to be the best version of myself for them, and they just gave up on me the second that things didn't go their way. And when she says this, like, so the universe actually made it so that 1 week her car broke down, and then another week her phone had stopped working. So she had all of these things shifting, all of these things dying and pushing towards transformation. So she had to get a new phone. She had to get her tires changed. And in that inconvenience, she had missed 1 or 2 of those appointments, or asked her clients to help her reschedule those appointments. And they were like, you know what, this isn't working. You're too flaky. You're too this, blah, blah, blah. And it's almost like they were waiting for the out. And instead of her going back and trying to offer, let's say in desperation energy, offer them a discount. I'll train you for free. Let me make it up to you. I'll give you this for free. Da, 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 da. All of these things that would continue to diminish her worth. You don't embody anything that's going to continue to diminish your worth. The minute you lose all of the things that are driving your worth down, and you have the opportunity to embrace new things that is going to elevate your worth, go and do the new thing. Even if you're afraid, do not be afraid to shift into the opportunities that will come and sit in your lap, because that's the elevation. That's how you capitalize on this energy. You don't look for ways to get back what you lost. You look for what is on this new floor. Because remember, in my other drawing, you're on a new floor now. You've gone up the stairs, you're in green energy, and you're not the only person that's there. There are other people. Now you've gone from here and you're up here. Just how there were people down here for you, there are new opportunities and new people up here for you to come into connection with, for you to announce who you are to, for you to embody your new higher self-worth with. Yes, you lost this, but you were never supposed to be here in the first place. You've gained everything that you needed to. You got your lessons, you got your lessons, you had your experiences, and now it's time for you to move up and embody something that's greater. So now that you are existing in this higher frequency, you might be curious as to, how do I maintain my alignment in this area of my life? How do I make sure that my mind, my body, and my soul are literally in alignment with this shift, so that I can continue to attract the abundance that I so truly deserve? And if that is what you're wondering, then this video is going to be perfect for you. This has been Ron Natalia, Mindset and Authenticity Coach. Don't forget to subscribe, and I love you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.